Hey YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking Monsterverse vlog. The Monsterverse is a big topic these days with GBK right around the corner. Uh, let's talk about it. And someone posted a comment on the last video about Zone Fighter, right? And it got me thinking, should the Monsterverse have a Toku hero? It's quite the concept. I don't really mean like a Super Sentai Kamen Rider one. I mean one of the like giant Toku heroes. Zone Fighter, Ultraman, Fireman, Iron King, Mirror Man, uh, Gridman, that kind of thing. One of the big boys. Uh, because of course that's the level that fights kaiju. And I know the Power Rangers have like Zords and stuff, but eh, I do think the Monsterverse should have mechas. Like I 100% think that. But yeah, Toku Heroes, that's kind of a different story. Now, to be honest, I'm not super sure that a Toku hero like that uh maybe even has a place in the Monsterverse. It is after all the Monsterverse, right? So having a movie in it where the focus is a basically superhero might be kind of odd. Um, and that being said, the Monsterverse is kind of already a superhero franchise. Hear me out. Godzilla is portrayed as a hero at the end of 2014 when he's walking back into the ocean. On the newsreel, it says, Godzilla, savior of our city? Right? And then the military and stuff team up with him to fight Ghidorah and stuff. He's portrayed as super heroic. Uh, in Kong, he's seen as like the hero of Skull Island. It's doggy's barking. They're definitely kind of giving them these almost superhero-y traits because part of that's probably because they just want the audience to root for the monsters in the Monsterverse, which is fine. I personally prefer Godzilla as a villain, but I do like the whole balance thing. I love the whole balance concept. That's why I gave it to Godzilla in the That's why I gave the balance concept to Godzilla in my Tokusatsu Kaiju podcast, Toku King. Uh, but also because that Godzilla was very like his personality and stuff was more based on the Showa Godzilla, who was mostly heroic. The second Showa Godzilla, not the first one. But yeah, so we we have this place where the monsters are already kind of heroic. So do we need just a straight up superhero, really? And also, in another recent video, in the Pacific Rim video where I talked about if Pacific Rim should be in the Monsterverse, I talked about how grounded the Monsterverse is compared to a lot of other kaiju stuff. And I got comments like, the Monsterverse isn't grounded at all. And I was like, that's not entirely true, but I see your point. Giant monsters like that physically couldn't exist, right? Their organs would crush each other. Like they would just be crushed under their own weight. They would never be able to intake enough calories to survive. They'd overheat, etc., etc. Kaiju can't exist. Just science. And then they were like, the Monsterverse also has an alien. Yeah, but it's not like an alien in a flying saucer, etc. It's like an alien that came here. It's like an alien life form that came here in a meteor, something more The Thing or Alien style, you know? It's not like it was a flying saucer alien. There's like they cut all the mystical stuff with Mothra out of the Monsterverse, which is my biggest argument towards that it's grounded. They cut all the mystical stuff from Mothra, which I wouldn't have done. But also, there wasn't really room for mystical stuff for Mothra in the King of the Monsters movie. If they introduced Mothra in like a solo film or something, I totally would have made it mystical in the Monsterverse. What is it, baby? Oh, the doggy wants barkies. I think she wants in my lap because she hears me talking. Oh, sorry, I'm recording this on my phone, so it's wobbling everywhere. Come on up, baby. I know you wanna. You guys wanna see the doggy? Come on up, good girl. My grandma's been in the hospital for weeks. She's not doing well at all, so I'm taking care of her dog. Come on up, girl. She's right here. Hey, baby. See, she wants up so bad. Oh, just jump up. I know you can. Oh. Anyways, back to our topic. Yeah, the Monsterverse is maybe a little too grounded for a Toku hero, for one thing, but also the monsters themselves are already kind of superheroes. So it's not really a role that needs to be filled. Even with superheroes being a huge thing now, I feel like the genre cycle is going to eventually replace superheroes with monsters, because I don't know if you've noticed. Monster films are kind of having a renaissance right now. Not just kaiju films, but monster films in general. So I think monsters can stand on their own without superheroes for sure. They did before Marvel, and they can now. They did before the MCU. They can now. Huh. And it's just something that I don't think the Monsterverse needs. If the Monsterverse had its own, if the Monsterverse right now posted a tweet like, the Monsterverse is going to have its own original Ultraman-sized Toku hero, I'd be like, dope. I'm not going to turn down a Toku hero. Toku heroes I love as much as kaiju, pretty much, but, it's also not something that I would campaign for. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's maybe not a place for it in the Monsterverse. Now, as the Monsterverse goes on, if it starts to open up to bigger concepts, that might be a different story. I mean, look what the MCU did, right? The MCU started kind of grounded. Iron Man's a pretty grounded film, right? In Thor, they gave scientific explanations for all the magic. The Incredible Hulk was pretty grounded. Captain America, the first Avenger, was pretty grounded, but the Cosmic Cube stuff, they called it the Tesseract, but it's the Cosmic Cube. It was kind of, doing its own thing. She just wants to play. She doesn't want me to be doing this video. But, yeah, see, the MCU started off kind of grounded, but then it really opened up, and now the MCU isn't anything close to grounded at all. Because once the MCU got really popular, Marvel Studios was willing to take more risks and do crazier things, like Guardians of the Galaxy. If you would have pitched Guardians of the Galaxy as a movie in 2009, you would have been laughed out of the room. But now it's a favorite film of the MCU. It's seen as one of the best space operas of all time. Insane. But yeah, I really I really don't think there's room for a Toku hero right now, but when the Monsterverse grows and we see how crazy it gets, maybe there will be a place for a Toku hero. Who knows? But that's it for now. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all, you guessed it, next time.